Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, I hope you don't make it your last. As you can tell from the title of today's video, what we're doing is a walkthrough. I'm going to be showing you how to use basic gym equipment, just because I know that if you're a beginner and you're coming into the gym for the first time, there is bound to be some sort of confusion or some sort of intimidation because of the just array of machines that you have available in the gym. So I'm going to be showing you through some of the most common and most basic equipment, because I know that not all gyms have the same type of equipment. So I'm going to be showing you my form. I'm also going to be showing you how to use those exercises and the muscles that those exercises work. So let's go. This is the leg press, and this is the first machine that I'm going to be talking about today. Now, the leg press is one of those movements that can be categorized as a compound movement just because it's a multi-joint movement. So in this particular exercise, it works your quads. Your quads are the dominant muscles here. So it works your quads, but it also works your glutes, and it also works your hamstrings and your knee, basically. So these are the muscles that are engaged when you're doing leg press. With this particular machine, you can see that this is the way that it is, right? So it has a seat here, and for some of the machines you will be able to adjust them, but for some of them you might not be able to adjust them. Now, in my previous gym, I was able to adjust the height of this so that I made it a little bit lower. But for this particular one, I don't think that you can adjust it. I think it's more static, right? So what you want to do first is get plates. I always advise to start out light because you don't need to impress anybody. You're not here to impress anybody. So just like start with what you can do. So with this particular machine, what you want to do is get a comfortable position. So lie on the bench, get a comfortable position. You want to place your feet at the place that is comfortable for you. So if you want to do like a lower stance like this, then it means that you'll be targeting more of your glutes and your hamstrings. But if you want to do it a little bit higher, then it will be targeting most of your quads, right? So with this particular motion, just two things to keep in mind, two things for cue. You want to make sure that your back is on the mat, right? So what that means is when you're doing this movement, just basically think that you want to press your back into this, and that the only thing that should be moving are your legs, right? I feel like when you have that mental cue and when you do that, like, it just helps you do the exercises or perform the exercises better. So let's start. So place your knee position. Typically, if you're so confused about if you want to target your quads or your glutes or your hamstrings, I generally recommend to do like a hip width stance. So you can just do this and place your back and brace your core, and then push. You always want to brace your core in every exercise that you're doing. So this is a pushing movement. So push, like almost like you're pushing into the sky. Just remind yourself that what you're doing is you're pushing this up into the air while your back remains very flat against the bench. This is one thing that significantly helps me improve my weight and also my form when I'm doing this. So what you want to basically do is you want to push this thing down, right? So once you have it down, you can then just like take it to whatever length you want and then push. Even though it's called a leg press, what you're doing is essentially you're pushing it, right? I feel like it should be called a leg push, but who am I? So another very important tip for your form is that when you do this, it's fine. But when you do this, when you're coming up, you never want to lock out your knees. You always want to have a soft bend in your knees. You never, ever, ever want to lock it out, because you will just enjoy yourself if you do that, right? So just ensure that there's a soft bend. Another thing that I see people do a lot is when they're doing this particular exercise, they have their hand on their knees. Like, I don't see why you should have your hands on your knees. Your hands should be by this. This thing has been provided to help you grip something if you do need to grip something. So let's go. So the next exercise I'm talking about is this particular one, which is the leg extension. Now, I love this exercise because it really is very quad focused. So if like on a particular leg day, if you want to ensure that you're unable to walk up and down the stairs, just come and do this exercise, right? So this particular exercise, like I said before, works on your quad. So it is often regarded as an isolation movement just because it rarely involves other muscles. It's just your quads that are doing the major work and should be doing the major work. So if you're doing this exercise and you feel like other parts of your body is helping you do the exercise, like your back, if you see that that's coming into the motion, then your form is wrong. What you want to do is you just adjust your sit, right? So most leg extension machines, you would see that you're able to adjust the sit. I prefer to have it a little bit backwards so that way I can lean back. So I always do that and then adjust it. You always want to select the particular one. Most gyms offer you this pin. So with this pin, you can select the design. So a few things to note when it comes to how you sit. When you sit, how to know if you're sitting properly is, or if you're sitting comfortably is, the edge of the seat should be in between your thigh and your knees. The edge of your seat should just line up there. That way you're able to lift your knees without any difficulty. So after you've selected your desired weight, you basically want to put this down. It's supposed to help you maintain a tight grip. Okay, so once you do this, place your hands by your side and basically lift, right? You want to also control the movement. So try to squeeze your quads at the top of the movement and then lower it gently. Okay, all right, let's go. So this is the next exercise we're doing. This is called the shoulder press, and this basically works on your delts. So if you know that you want defined shoulders, this is an exercise that should be in your routine, and this is why I'm covering it, because most gyms will have a shoulder press. Alright, so a few things you want to know when you're doing this exercise is that your back, usually like your upper back, should be against the exercise. If you want to have like a little arc, that's fine. Place your feet firmly into the ground and basically push up. When you push your elbows up, you never, ever, like just as I said in the leg press, you never want to lock out your elbows because it's going to increase your chance of injury. So always maintain like a soft bend in your elbows. So let's go. Okay, so there you have it. I've covered how to do the leg press, how to do the leg extension, and now how to do the shoulder press. So obviously this is like an upper body. I'm going to show one more upper body exercise or two more upper body exercise. The reason why I'm showing this is because as a beginner, it's easier for you to get away with using machines. That way you're able to at least get more confidence in the gym than starting off with dumbbell exercises. That's my opinion. So I prefer, and I always will be partial to machines just because it's just easy for you to set up. Just like load up the machine with the plates or just select whatever desired weight you want and start to perform the movement, right? So it's easier that way to basically not be embarrassed in the gym than just like going in and starting with very complicated exercises. So these machines will help you get started in the gym basically. Okay, let's do one more set. Okay, and that's that about the shoulder press. So the next one I'm going to be showing you is the lat pull down. This is one of my all-time favorite exercises, and that's one of the exercises that there's usually a lot of cue on because it's also in most people's like favorite exercise. So I'm going to show you because I know that you want to build your back. So let's go. Alright, so this is the lat pull down. So a few things you want to know when you're doing this exercise is you want to select whatever attachment is comfortable for you. So I prefer to use a wide grip bar, but some people prefer to use a more narrow bar, but I just prefer to do this because you can get a wider movement that way. After you selected your preferred bundle, and you've attached it, you also want to select a weight that is comfortable for you. So this machine, this particular one, is the variant you see in a lot of Nigerian gyms. So sometimes it doubles as lat pull down, and it also doubles for a seated cable row. So I'm going to sit down, and then I'm going to adjust back if I want it to be tighter. If I want it to be firmer or looser, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to choose this. Once you are sure that the pad height you've selected is suitable for you, the next thing you want to do is just like stand up and determine how wide you want your arms to be. For beginners, it will be easier for you to start out with a shoulder width grip. So just like start somewhere there, and then you want to sit down and you want to slide your knees on the like this. So I prefer to be very close to the machine. I feel like that way I'm able to control my movements more. Basically sit like this, and then you want to think of something lodged in between your back or in between like your spine. When you're pulling down, you want to retract your shoulder blades back to squeeze that thing. So just like I said, when you're doing this particular movement, what you want to do is you want to think of the fact that there is something lodged like in between your spine. That way it helps you engage your lats more, right? Just think of the fact that this is a lat pull down, and I feel like when you have this mental cue, when you're always thinking of pressing that thing back, it helps you to engage your lats more. So let's go, let's do a working set. So the last exercise that I have for today is this particular exercise is the assisted pull-up machine. So as the name suggests, you're pulling up, right? So it's a pulling movement, and this primarily works on your lats. So you want to do is you want to use this as an extension, and then you want to put your knees here, right? So your knees should always be on this platform and select the desired weight. One interesting thing to note is the lesser weights you choose, the more you're relying on your own strength, and the lower you go, the more you're relying on the machine to pull you up. So let's go. Alright guys, so that's the end of this video. In this video, I was able to show you how to perform like 4 different exercises, and I hope that you're no longer confused as to how to do these exercises. So next time when you walk into a gym and you see these machines, you're not going to be afraid or you're not going to be confused. So I just hope that this video was able to clarify some of the confusion that you might have. Alright, so thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.